Hey everyone, today we're installing the Lexion Automotive screen that replaces the ugly 7-inch display. We're gonna start off by removing this panel right here. Just pops out. After that, I believe this one comes off as well, just pops out right here somewhere. And then if you look behind, this panel pops out too. Well, there's be a screw right here, and I believe this top piece has to pop out as well, but I'm not sure exactly how to get it off. And then there'll be a screw right here, and then I believe you have to get to the radio on the bottom. But I'm gonna give this a try and see how well this goes on. This is the stuff it comes with. You have first SIM card right here. I believe this is for the backup camera, and then the microphone for your stock car, and then you have the Apple CarPlay one. This looks like the main harness that goes to the car. I think this is the Wi-Fi antenna. This is the GPS navigation. This, I'm not quite sure, but I'll figure it out. And then this looks like a speaker. I'm not sure if I have to install this. I was told that everything works through the OEM system, but we'll see. This is the screen. As you can see, it has a nice screen protector on it, and then you replace, you put your stock clock in there, but it looks really good. All right, we're gonna get started on this. All right, we got the first piece off. As you can see, it's just pop clips. Make sure you don't pry from the back, because this just slides out like that. There's no pop clips on there, so you have like this. Then it's just pop clips. And you're revealed with this back here. Don't worry about these, my custom audio system that I'll be putting in, but all right, let's keep going. As you can see, these are also just held in by clips. And then be careful not to pull too hard right here, because that's a retainer clip. You kind of just go like that and it comes out. Whole piece should come out like that. Set that aside. And then I believe you have to take these out. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to this side, but I'm still gonna have to figure that out. So all right. Next, you just unclip these things. You just push them. They sit right in there. You just push them in and pop down, and then don't pull it out because there is a little LED wire right here. Just push it down. Slide it out. This whole piece will come out. And then I believe I have to take off this one, as well as probably this one and this one, but we'll see. I need to be able to take this whole piece out to get to the radio. All right, so you do have to take these two off. There's one right there as well. You have to pop these little pieces off, which you just push back on the tab and pull out. And then for this part, to get the top ones, you have to put one of these in there and pop it down. Be careful though, because this is an airbag, and then that's the airbag clip. I would not take it out. I would just try to leave it somewhere here and let it rest. Don't let it hang though, just because it is an airbag. Yeah, but just try to find somewhere to put it. The main reason why we're taking that out is because we need to get to that screw and the one right there. And once you get all those screws, you'll have something like this. When then it's pop out the glove box, you just gotta firmly pull to get this out, and it will get stuck right here, so that's why it's a little scratched. But this one needs to be pulled out. This one, I believe, this one, and this one, and then it pops out pretty easily. Just be careful, because there will be a little LED right here, and this is the wire to that. You just have to pull it out. Moving to the opposite side of the car, I believe you have to pop this panel out right here, and then that'll allow this to come out. And then we'll keep going, but here's where we are right now. So now we got that up. You just keep popping it around the edges like that. It doesn't fully come out, but it allows you to, I believe, pull this up easier. And right here. It's just a firm pull, but be careful not to scratch your screen. And that's the bolt we're looking for right there. All right. But it's gonna look like that. So just leave it like that. Next, we'll be focusing on this piece because now we can pop it out from here. So just take off this bolt and this one, unclip these, I believe, and then we'll give a firm pull to the middle section because it should just release. As you can see, it's starting to give. Be careful as not to break anything, but as you can see, it does come out. So now that I've got that out, I believe you just unclip all these so you can take the full piece off, and we'll go from there. Correction, unless you want to take this out, this little clip that holds everything in, you can't take off all the clips. So in my case, I'm just going to leave this on. Don't let this wire get stressed, so just put it somewhere where you can just leave it like that or something. Should be okay, but unclip them so you don't press any buttons. But now we're turning our attention to this. This whole cover pops up and out. So we're gonna try to get our tool in right here. Don't scratch your screen, and then pull it up and over. As you can see, you just pry from this area right here and slowly pull it up. Okay, now as you can see, behind there's one, and I believe that's two right there. Take those off and your screen should come out. So we got those two screws out. In theory, this should just come up. Okay, well maybe I need to do something else, but in theory it should just come up. So I actually ended up getting it out, as you can see, like that. But in my case, there were actually 3 bolts, not 2. So I'll go ahead and show you that after I get it out, but you can see it's out. All you got to do after this is just unplug it, and then it'll fully come out. So I suggest laying a cloth down like this so you don't hurt your screen. But after you get all those clips undone, you see these 2 white things. You need to unplug those. You can push the tabs in on the side right there and then push them up and they'll come out. And then after that, your screen should come out fully. So for reference, the screws go right here, on this one right here, and then under your little hood thing right there. I think it's different for 2019s. I think they only have this one and this one, but on mine, it has those 2 right there and this one. Here's the back of the screen. Remember to take out your clock, but other than that, now the screen's out. Now it's time to take this bad boy out, which will start down here and unscrew. There's a little cover. If you come right here, you can kind of see it right there. These pop out actually, but you need to use a pry tool for the most part, I believe. Maybe I can get it out like this. Oh yeah, there you go. And then there should be a screw under here, little cross tip screw. So undo that. All right, so after you get that screw, all you gotta do is pull right here on the top. It'll be free. All you gotta do is pull there, and then move that out of the way, and pull right here. You can see the clip. Let's see if I can get it with one hand. It's gonna be a little scary, but there's the screw that just fell out. And now you should be able to move this over a little bit. You might have to undo this, and these are the same thing, you just push them in. But maybe undo this one right here, just a little clip, so you can take this fully out. So for me, I didn't actually end up taking that out. I just made sure it's like this. It was too much work to get it out. So now we gotta focus on taking these 4 out right there, and then we can access the back of the radio to do our harness. After you get all 4 screws, it's still gonna be stuck in with these, so just give it a firm tug. After that, let's go disconnect some of these cables. So make sure you take out your old clock. It's just one little tab on the top right there, and then we'll put it in here right there. The old clock will just sit in right there. It's beautiful right there. Nice. So here's a comparison. I believe you have to take off this frame as well as the little red things, and you put the little red things on each of these so they clip in. And then the frame, you take off this one, and I believe those 2, and they'll go 1, 2, 3, After you have everything installed, it should look something like that. Mine, my holes don't really line up very well. So I didn't want to strip this one further, so I was only able to get this one, these 4. And there actually is a 5th one, it's right here. But it didn't line up very well, so make sure you do it slowly, otherwise you're gonna strip them. Now you just unplug everything and you have your radio right here. So we're gonna see where these other wires go. So you see it's a little dark right now because I kind of had some trouble figuring out where some of the stuff went for the radio right here. But it's basically all plug and play. I have my USB cord routed this way. I'm probably not going to use it. It's just there just in case I want it. But on the back of this, I'm not using the GPS or the 4G. There's no point. I'm going to use CarPlay, and they recommend not using those if you're using CarPlay. On US cars, I think there's usually an airbag light right here on your stock one. And I was getting airbag codes, and I couldn't figure out why. But then I realized that needed to be plugged in. Otherwise, it wouldn't. The airbag lights wouldn't go away. So I'll include a link down in my description for a detailed post I'm gonna write on, and I'll show you guys a picture of what I did for that. I basically just on the stock unit, it's right in this corner. You can just unclip it, and there's a little space right here between the clock and the screen. You can just wedge it in there pretty good, and it doesn't move, and then you just plug it in. And I'll put a picture of that on my post. But after you guys get that done, it's just cable managing the back over here, and it's gonna be pretty tight, so you gotta squeeze that shit down. Loosely tighten the bolts, and then you can snug them later. They're not very tight from factory, so don't go too crazy. Put in the four bolts right here, and then squeeze this back in. The one thing I didn't show you guys was, if you guys have a touchpad like this, I believe all UXs do, you're gonna have to remove this trim right here. It just pops out, so just pop this out. You're gonna have to run your touchpad harness through the back, down under this, and directly to the touchpad. That's something I couldn't figure out. It wasn't on the back of my radio, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized it goes directly to the touchpad. So underneath this touchpad, there's a connector. You unplug it, you plug in the harness they provide, and then you plug the end of the harness into the harness of the car, and you'll be good. And then the touchpad should work. All right. All right, everyone, I'm basically done. Just gonna reinstall these 4 bolts. For some reason, I'm having a parking sensor malfunction, but I think I know what's wrong with it. I think I may just need to drive the car. Make sure you don't turn the car on before you attach the 2 bolts, and then the one down here, because they're actually a ground for this airbag, and you'll get a crazy amount of errors if you don't connect those. Also, make sure to reconnect these right here, because you're gonna get a lot of errors if you don't. But yeah, other than that, just go ahead and reassemble everything. And yeah, and if you guys need, you might have to change the camera input on the screen. The code is 886. Oh shit. I'll put it in the description. I kind of forgot, but I'll put it in the description.